So if anybody has any questions now, please, somebody put your hand up, alright? It's going to be that thing of like... Yeah. What would you like to ask?
Where are you going next?
When? Tonight? Yeah. I'm going home to bed because I've got a show tomorrow. I have, yes. Do you want to ask a question? Well, I'm marrying his son. Yes, you've embarrassed him now. Really? That is one way to ask somebody out, isn't it? Get him on to tweet the person, and then ask him on a show in front of how many people? He must love you right now. I think well, I'll have to have a little think about it and get back to you, alright? Alright, what about over here? Got any questions? Yeah. Do I ever get in a bad mood? Well, you probably have to ask people who work with us, but I don't think so. I sometimes wake up and I can't be bothered, but, you know, I think, I like to see that. I think in this industry, you know, there's so many things that can happen, and sometimes people write nasty things and things like that. You couldn't get in a bad mood about it, otherwise it would just ruin your day every day. So I tend to just put a positive spin on anything and, you know, over the head, water off a duck's back, whatever they say. So not really, but sometimes I wouldn't let anybody see you in a bad mood. Yes, what would you like that? You'd love to be my grandmother. You'll have to. She's here somewhere tonight, I think. So you'll have to check if it's all right with her. Anyone over here? Oh, thank you. How are you? You all right? Nice to meet you. What about who stuck the hand up? Yes.
Have you seen Beyonce since your star performance?
Have I seen Beyonce since No, I haven't, unfortunately. I would like to go and see her again because I love the show. And next time I'd probably gate crash the stage. Anybody over here? Yes? My favourite song? At the minute? At the minute,
Get Lucky.
God, I do like Get Lucky actually. Who said that?
Do it.
All right. No, it's coming later on. Don't worry, it's coming later on. Favourite song at the minute? I like the new Jason Derulo song, Other Side. I think that's a good pop song. And my favourite song at the minute that I can't stop listening to off years ago is Fleetwood Mac, Everywhere. I love that song. You probably won't know that song. It's just like, what the hell's he talking about? Yeah. My manager's at the back, you'll have to speak to him. Alright, anybody else? Sorry?
Can you sing a song without the microphone?
Without the microphone? Why without the microphone? Why do you want to sing without the microphone? Oh, I'm not sure about that. You what? What, without the microphone? Alright, maybe I'll think about it, alright? I'll have a little think. Any more questions? Questions, not requests, alright? You pushed it now. Yeah.
Do you like singing Circle of Life?
Do I like singing The Circle of Life? Yeah, I do actually. That was one of my favourite songs as a kid. And it was one of my mum's favourite songs as well. She loves that song. I haven't sang that song for a long time. You might hear it later on, we'll see. Yes? I'm learning an instrument, if nobody could hear that. Well, I was supposed to be learning the guitar, but every time I pick it up, I don't have time. Don't even embarrass it, no. I don't know. Listen, you don't want to hear, it's rubbish. I don't even know anything, that's the embarrassing thing.
Well, you've got a good teacher.
You will know, trust us. It's nearly as bad as the out-of-tune singer over here. Yeah.
Do you feel proud to be in 74 in Massachusetts magazine?
Do I feel robbed?
Yeah, number one, obviously. Tom Daly who?
No, do you know what it is? I think those kind of polls are a bit silly anyways.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd rather be judged on my talent than my looks.
Yes.
That's what I would rather. But it's nice to know that I'm appreciated somewhere in the poll, I suppose. Yeah.
3 times. You are?
Favourite song to sing? It depends, you know, because I suppose when I'm doing something like this, it changes. But with the band, I enjoy them all. I always make it, whenever I record an album, I make a conscious decision never to record a song that I don't like. You know, and I've had some big rows with like producers and people from the label like going, oh, I know you don't like it, but everybody else does. And I always say, you never know what your biggest hit's going to be. And if you have to sing that for the rest of your life, you better like it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always really conscious of making sure that I like every song on the album. So I enjoy them all, but I suppose I do love singing Until the Stars Run Out off the first album. Probably off the second, Canto della Terra. Third was the Christmas album. I love Driving Home for Christmas. And the fourth, I would probably say either What Have I Done or Here's What I Believe. That answer it? Yeah? Yes.
Singing more opera.
Yeah, I mean, I still do a lot of the opera in the... I mean, it's quite difficult to do it in an acoustic show, but if you come to an actual show with the band and stuff, I still do a lot of the opera. I do 3 or 4 tracks on the tour. And I would never say no to recording another album of opera, you know. I think it's something that I would... In an ideal situation, I would love to do a pop album and an opera album. But sometimes the people of Britain like to put you in a box, so the record label tend not to go with them ideas, but I'm going to make it my mission to happen. Well, I suppose the techniques that, the question was, do I still do opera training? The techniques that I learned, you kind of, if I was to train, I would have to train to be an opera singer. You can't just train and not, do you know what I mean? It's like, basically, they've taught me all the techniques that they can teach us now to sing in an operatic style. If I was to go away and train properly, then I would become an opera singer. And the danger you have with that is that then you can't sing pop, because you can't revert back. If you train kind of in the middle where you just train to sing it, but a lot of opera singers can't sing pop, otherwise it'll ruin their voice. Do you get that? But I still used all the techniques. I have to, otherwise it would go wrong. Yes. Hello, what's her name? Hi, Eve at the back, who's not feeling very well. Where are you? I've just got a hand up there. I hope you feel better soon. Bless her. Who was shouting? Yes, yes.
Joe, I've heard you're really clumsy. What's the clumsiest thing you've done?
Clumsiest thing I've done? Oh, I've got a few. I could list a few. Well, I've had a train door shut on my head, which was slightly embarrassing. That wasn't too fun. I had a big black mark down my face. Who said lift? Yes, well that was, yeah. I tripped over a case in a lift in Manchester. I was doing some promotion for the first album. Went and pushed the case into the lift. The case fell, I tried to grab it, did a roly-poly over the case and ended up with my legs stuck in the middle of the air, trapped in front of the whole Manchester United football team. So you can imagine how much of a laughing stock I was. I once slipped on a bowl of jelly. I was carrying a bowl of jelly. We were cooking at my cousin's house. Made some jelly, carried it through into she had this kind of extension room with kind of laminate flooring like this. Spilled the jelly, thought it would be fun to then kind of slip on it and slide on it, pretend I was an ice skater, and literally did that thing where, you know on the cartoons when their legs go like, flick like that and then in the air, and landed on my head. I thought I broke my neck, it wasn't pretty, that was painful. But yes, many, many clumsy things. I'm yet, touch wood, I'm yet to have fallen on stage. It's never happened yet. It would be funny though, wouldn't it? It would be funny. As long as I wasn't injured, but I haven't, and I always say, I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. It will happen eventually. It will. You'll think it's not? That was another chat-up line there, wasn't it? Alright, one more question.
What was your favourite X Factor moment?
Winning.
The favourite X Factor moment probably was...
Winning!
Well, yeah, I suppose it was.
Beating Ollie.
The bit with...
Beating Ollie, yeah.
The bit where I suppose I had the most fun was probably the homecoming, when I went back home and kind of I saw all of the support. Obviously there was loads of support around the country and everything, but I suppose I'd been locked away in this house in London for so long, and I remember driving into into my hometown. We flew into Newcastle and we drove like through into South Shields. And there was just posters everywhere, and you know those road signs, the temporary road signs, I had them all over the place. And I remember thinking, oh my god, like this is just so surreal. And I literally stepped out the car for 2 seconds and I think we stopped to do some filming somewhere and people just like went ballistic. And I remember thinking, uh-oh, here comes trouble. And that was kind of the first time I was like, wow, this is incredible. But I suppose winning as well was a major moment. Alright, one more question. Yes? Likely to do anything in Europe? Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I'd love to go out there and promote some of the albums. It's definitely something, and I'd love to go out back out to America as well, which would be incredible. But these things take a lot of planning. You know, if you're going to go out, you've got to go out properly, and not just go out for the sake of, right, I've decided I'm going to go to Europe now, you know. So we're talking about it, and we're trying to plan it and make it logistically work, and hopefully it's something that will happen soon. But yeah, it's got to be right. The timing has to be right, otherwise it's a waste, you know what I mean? And you don't want to waste the opportunity. So I would love to do that. We'd love to do that. All right, what we've got next? Oh, we've got some